Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Man Crush Monday here at Dynasty Football Focus. We just finished up Week 8 games and looking at the waiver wire for this week. There's not a whole lot that I'm in love with, so we're going to touch on a couple different players here. The first player is actually somebody that I am going to personally go out and get in my leagues where he is available. I understand that he may be taken in many dynasty leagues already, but that's J.J. Nelson, wide receiver for Arizona. Now he's a small guy at 5'10", 160 pounds, but he has tons of speed. And these last 2 weeks, he has seen a massive increase in targets. So last week, he had 3 receptions for 84 yards off 7 targets, and then yesterday, he had 8 receptions for 79 yards, 2 TDs, 12 targets. And then Coach Bruce Arians actually came out today and said that he is going to be the starting #2 wide receiver for the Cardinals going forward. So this is an excellent opportunity for immediate production from a guy that many of you may be able to get from your waiver wire. I know that looking at MFL, um, let me just check so I give you the right number on his own percentage, but it's looking like, yeah, 14 and a half, about 14.5% is his own percentage. So I think there's a fair amount of leagues that he should be available in. I'm definitely going out, and I have no problem spending, even as much as 25 percent, even a little bit more of my free agent dollars to get him. So that's my first option. Now, let's say you're in a deeper dynasty league and J.J. Nelson is already stashed on somebody's roster. There's a couple other guys based on their performance this week that I do like as deeper roster stashes, guys that have the potential to develop into stronger roles, both wide receivers, and I may be a little bit biased on this, but they're both Green Bay Packer wide receivers. Now, I was at the game yesterday against the Falcons, and I saw a lot that I liked from that offense. Now, with Aaron Rodgers potentially throwing the ball, 40, 50, 60 times a game, these guys are going to get immense volume of passes thrown their way. And as these guys also develop more of a connection with Rodgers out on the field, I think that'll just increase the trust between them. And we've seen in the past 2 weeks that Mike McCarthy's actually been um, a little more a little less resistant to throwing out 4 or 5 wide receivers on the field at a time. So with that said, these two guys, I'm going with Geronimo Allison and Trevor Davis for the Packers. Now, Geronimo Allison, I liked him in preseason, but obviously the Packers kept 7 wide receivers, and he was number 8. So he was stashed on the practice squad, but he had a great preseason. I liked what I saw out of him, and that was working with backup QBs since Aaron Rodgers didn't really play the whole entire preseason. So he was just called up this week after the Packers released Jared Aberders, and he's a big guy, 6'3", 202 pounds. Yesterday at the game, he was targeted 4 times, had 2 receptions for 21 yards and a TD. He looks good out there. He's got great size on the outside, and he runs very good routes as well. So that's somebody that I like. The other one, Trevor Davis, rookie this year as well, drafted in the 5th round. He's 6'1", 188 pounds. His biggest thing is his speed. If I'm not mistaken, he ran a 4.340 at the combine. Um, and so he's somebody that can take the top off the defense. Although that's not how the Packers used him yesterday. He was actually running other routes out there. He also so he had 3 receptions for 24 yards and a TD. Also targeted 4 times. It's looking like this offense is they're gonna pass the ball around. Aaron Rodgers is gonna move that ball around until somebody really establishes themselves as his favorite target out there. So both of these guys, take your pick. Neither of them has a high enough own. There's not enough leagues that own these players for it to even register on my fantasy league right now. So they both just show a 0% own. I do have both of them in various leagues right now, and it's kind of just pick your poison at this point. So those are my other two man crushes on this fine Monday. So I would go after them in that order, probably. Being J.J. Nelson first, and then it's really a toss-up between Davis and Allison, but obviously Davis has the higher draft pedigree, so that may help him a little bit more, obviously a little bit of a longer leash when it comes to playing time, so either of those guys, though, I do like, and go out and grab them.